One of the most powerful reasons people gain more respect after turning 80 is the depth of wisdom they've accumulated through decades of life experience. Unlike textbook knowledge or internet facts, this kind of wisdom is hard-earned. It comes from living through countless situations, adapting to change, making difficult choices, and learning from both success and failure. As people reach their 80s, they have often experienced major historical events, technological revolutions, societal shifts, and deep personal journeys. This lived experience transforms them into walking encyclopedias of practical insight and emotional intelligence. For many, aging into their 80s brings a greater understanding of the human condition. Having observed patterns of behavior, relationships, and consequences over time, elders often develop a clear, grounded view of what truly matters in life. Values such as kindness, patience, humility, and the importance of community. These aren't things easily taught, they're absorbed through time and trial. As a result, when an elder speaks, people tend to listen more attentively, not necessarily because they speak louder or more often, but because they offer perspective others lack. Young people may read advice columns or motivational books, but advice from someone in their 80s carries the weight of authenticity. They've already lived through what others are just beginning to experience: heartbreaks, career decisions, health challenges, parenting, and even existential questions about purpose and mortality. Their insights are not hypothetical. They are based on real encounters with life's complexities. This is why many cultures hold elders in the highest regard. In traditional societies, the elderly are considered the keepers of ancestral knowledge and community wisdom. They are often consulted on important decisions and given the final word in matters of family, ethics, and tradition. Even in modern societies, there is a growing appreciation for the value of lived experience. Elders who share stories, mentor youth, or write memoirs often gain wide respect because they offer what no one else can: a roadmap through life's roughest terrains. Additionally, wisdom in the 80s often includes a deeper philosophical and spiritual awareness. Many older adults speak about learning to let go of grudges, accepting life's imperfections, and embracing peace over ambition. This maturity creates a calming presence that others gravitate toward. Whether it's a grandchild seeking life advice or a neighbor needing perspective, elders are increasingly seen as a compass in an uncertain world. In summary, reaching your 80s is like earning an invisible badge of wisdom. It's a recognition of your accumulated insights, your ability to reflect without judgment, and your priceless understanding of life's greater picture. People respect this deeply because true wisdom's rare, and those who possess it become beacons for others to follow. One of the most admirable qualities often found in individuals over 80 is their remarkable emotional control and patience, qualities that are forged over a lifetime of experiences. Unlike impulsive youth or anxious middle age, people in their 80s tend to exhibit a calm, measured approach to life that commands respect. This emotional mastery doesn't happen overnight. It's developed over years of navigating complex relationships, enduring losses, making mistakes, and learning the value of peace over conflict. With age comes the realization that reacting emotionally to every situation rarely brings the best results. Elders have seen the long-term effects of anger, resentment, and impulsiveness, have often paid the price for them in the past. That's why many people over 80 adopt a mindset of letting go. They've learned that not every battle needs to be fought, not every comment deserves a reaction, and not every problem is worth stressing over. This internal discipline becomes visible in their interactions, and others often feel more at ease in their presence. For example, younger people might get frustrated waiting in long lines or dealing with setbacks, but elders are typically more tolerant. Having endured life's unpredictable nature for decades, they understand that things don't always go as planned, and that's okay. This patience becomes a quiet strength. They don't rush conversations, don't interrupt with judgments, and often listen more than they speak. This quality alone earns respect, especially in a world driven by speed and reaction. Elders also tend to be better at managing interpersonal conflicts, rather than holding grudges or engaging in petty disputes. Many over 80 prefer harmony. Their emotional intelligence allows them to de-escalate situations, offer thoughtful advice, or sometimes say nothing at all, choosing silence over argument. This ability to maintain grace under pressure can have a powerful influence on younger generations, who often seek models of maturity in emotionally chaotic times. Additionally, this emotional steadiness often carries into how they view aging itself. While many people fear growing older, elders who have mastered their emotions embrace the process with dignity. They accept physical limitations and loss without bitterness, focusing instead on the blessings they still enjoy. Their positive and balanced emotional state becomes an inspiration for others, showing that aging does not have to be filled with fear or regret, can be a time of deep inner peace. Perhaps most importantly, emotional control and patience are signals of wisdom and self-respect. When others see an elder respond to life's difficulties with grace, they are reminded that true strength doesn't come from force, but from restraint and understanding. In a world full of noise and haste, the quiet emotional intelligence of someone in their 80s stands out powerfully, and it naturally earns the respect of those around them. Reaching the age of 80 is, in itself, a profound testament to quality that garners deep respect from those around you. In a world where many face physical, emotional, and societal challenges throughout life, surviving into your 80s is a silent yet powerful statement. I've endured that in hardship, illness, loss, change, and even social transformation marks someone as a survivor. It elevates elders to a level of quiet authority and admiration that can't be manufactured or faked. Most people in their 80s have faced and overcome numerous life-altering events. They may have survived wars, recessions, political upheaval, pandemics, personal illnesses, or the loss of loved ones. Each of these moments could have brought despair, but instead they chose to continue, adapt, and grow. This lifelong act of resilience becomes a visible strength. Their stories often carry a sense of gravity because they're grounded in real suffering and survival, not theory, but lived reality. Younger generations, who are often in the thick of their own struggles, look to elders for reassurance. Seeing someone who has endured decades of difficulty and still smiles, still shows up, still shares, becomes a beacon of hope. It silently communicates, if I could make it, so can you. That kind of presence, born from a lifetime of survival, commands automatic respect. Elders who have reached 80 and beyond also serve as living proof that the human spirit can be stronger than the body. Even as physical strength may decline, the inner strength of someone who has lived through loss, hardship, and change shines through. This mental and emotional endurance can often be seen in the way they carry themselves with dignity, patience, and gratitude, even if their bodies no longer move as quickly. Moreover, surviving into one's 80s isn't just about avoiding death, it's about how one chooses to live despite adversity. Many elders continue to maintain a positive outlook, form new relationships, pursue hobbies, and remain active in their communities. This ability to find joy after decades of ups and downs becomes deeply inspirational. It shows others that resilience isn't about just getting by, it's about rising above. In family settings, these elders often become anchors, pillars around whom generations gather. Their long lives are celebrated not just because of the years they've lived, but because of all they've lived through. This survival becomes part of the family's identity and pride. Their stories are retold at dinners, holidays, and reunions, reminding everyone of the family's strength. In essence, people over 80 become symbols not of fragility, as some mistakenly believe, but of unshakable endurance. Their mere presence sends a powerful message. Life is tough, but so are you. And it's that unspoken message that earns them the deep, enduring respect of all who truly understand what it means to keep going. No matter what, by the time someone reaches the age of 80, they often become the living bridge between generations, serving as a vital source of cultural and family legacy. This role is both powerful and deeply respected. In many ways, elders carry within them the memories, traditions, stories, and values that define a family or community's identity. They are not just individuals, they become keepers of history, guardians of heritage, and anchors of continuity. In a rapidly changing world, every family has a unique story, but few people can tell it with as much richness and first-hand detail as an elder. At 80 and beyond, they often hold precious information that would otherwise be lost: how grandparents met, the struggles their parents faced during wartime or migration, the meaning behind family customs, or how traditions were born. This knowledge is not stored on phones or in cloud drives, it lives in the minds and hearts of those who have experienced it, and elders take pride in passing it down. Grandchildren, for instance, may learn about their roots, cultural practices, or religious beliefs, not from a Reaching your 80s often comes with an unspoken promotion to a highly respected position in society, that of a mentor and guide. After decades of living, learning, working, loving, and enduring, people over 80 have a wellspring of knowledge and insight that others naturally turn to, whether it's family members, neighbors, former colleagues, or even strangers. People begin to seek their wisdom not just for answers, but for clarity, reassurance, and a sense of direction in life's most uncertain moments. Unlike formal mentors who may be assigned in workplaces or academic settings, elders become organic mentors. Their advice is rooted not in theory but in experience. They've faced real dilemmas, raising children on a tight budget, maintaining a long-term marriage, overcoming illnesses, dealing with loss, changing careers, or surviving war or economic crisis. When they speak, their words carry the weight of time-tested truth. This authenticity makes their mentorship deeply meaningful. In families, elders over 80 often serve as emotional anchors, especially during crises. Their calm presence and seasoned perspective bring balance when others may feel overwhelmed or uncertain. They have seen it all, which helps younger generations realize that even the toughest situations can be survived and learned from. Many older adults take on the role of mentor naturally, offering advice to their adult children navigating midlife, sharing stories with grandchildren to teach life lessons, or offering guidance to newly married couples about patience, compromise, and commitment. Outside the family, this mentorship role often extends to the community. Many people in their 80s volunteer, participate in local organizations, or offer informal guidance to those around them. Their insights are especially appreciated in areas such as leadership, parenting, business, and ethics. They don't need to lecture or impose their views. Instead, they offer calm, confident suggestions, allowing others to benefit from their perspective without pressure. This style of guiding, gentle and respectful, is what makes elders such beloved mentors. Another important aspect of this role is mentoring by example. Elders often inspire not just through what they say, but through how they live. When others observe them living with grace, purpose, and resilience, it sends a powerful message. Their habits, values, and ways of interacting with others become quiet lessons in how to age with dignity and integrity. Whether it's showing kindness to a caregiver, staying active in the face of limitations, or continuing to learn new things in their 80s, elders lead by doing. This kind of role modeling has a ripple effect. It strengthens families, builds community, and inspires younger generations to pursue a meaningful life, not just a successful one. In a fast-paced world where youth is often celebrated, elders remind us of the long game, the wisdom of patience, the value of perspective, and the power of legacy. In essence, people in their 80s embody the heart of true mentorship, humble, experienced, and deeply human. Their quiet guidance helps others navigate life with more courage, clarity, and compassion, and that's a role worthy of immense respect. One of the most profound reasons people over 80 earn greater respect is their graceful acceptance of a Jinga quality that reflects deep inner peace, wisdom, and emotional maturity. Rather than resisting the inevitable physical and emotional changes that come with advanced age, many elders choose to embrace them with dignity, understanding, and even gratitude. This attitude not only sets a powerful example for younger generations, but also fosters admiration for the strength and serenity they exude. In today's youth-driven society, aging is often portrayed as something to fear or fight against. Media and advertising are filled with messages about reversing aging, hiding wrinkles, or staying forever young. Against this backdrop, elders who confidently accept their age, their slower pace, their gray hair, and the natural decline of certain abilities are viewed as courageous and inspiring. They teach others that aging is not a weakness to hide, but a reality to be honored and lived fully. Graceful acceptance doesn't mean giving up. Rather, it means adapting to change with a positive mindset. Many people over 80 continue to engage in meaningful activities, build relationships, and find joy in simple things. They've let go of the need to prove themselves or chase external validation. This quiet confidence often comes across in how they speak, how they carry themselves, and how they respond to life's daily challenges. This self-assurance commands deep respect especially in a world where so many struggle with self-acceptance. A significant part of aging gracefully also involves letting go of ego. Many elders no longer feel the need to dominate conversations or compete for attention. They've learned the value of listening, observing, and offering insight only when needed. This humility, born of lived experience, is a rare quality and one that people instinctively admire. It allows elders to become wise observers of life rather than anxious participants. Furthermore, aging gracefully involves making peace with loss, the loss of loved ones, the passing of time, or the decline of physical abilities. Many elders learn to honor those losses rather than dwell on them. They develop spiritual or philosophical beliefs that help them accept mortality, and in doing so, they inspire others to confront their own fears about aging and death. There is great power in someone who can say, "I've lived, I've loved, I've lost, and I'm still grateful." Their presence becomes a calming force, especially for younger people overwhelmed by life's pressures. Elders who age gracefully radiate a quiet message: you don't have to have everything figured out, you just have to keep going, keep learning, and keep loving. That mindset, when witnessed, changes the way others view aging, not as decline, but as evolution. People over 80 often command a unique kind of respect that stems from their status as moral authorities, individuals whose values and principles have been shaped and tested over many decades. Unlike fleeting opinions or popular trends, the morals of an elder are typically grounded in real-world experience, deep reflection, and time-honored truths. This kind of ethical clarity makes them highly respected figures in families and communities, especially in times of moral confusion or crisis. Over the course of a lifetime, someone in their 80s has likely witnessed society evolve through political shifts, cultural revolutions, and technological booms. They have observed the consequences of both good and bad choices on a personal and societal level. These observations form a moral compass that isn't based solely on personal preference, but on a wide-angle view of human behavior, integrity, and consequences. When elders speak on matters of right and wrong, it's often with calm confidence, not because they've never been wrong, but because they've had time to reflect, grow, and distill wisdom from experience. In families, this moral authority becomes especially evident. Elders are often turned to for final decisions, blessings, or approvals when it comes to major life events such as marriages, business ventures, or difficult family disputes. Their voice holds weight, not out of force, but out of earned respect. Younger generations may not always agree, but they usually listen, because they know the elder has a broader and more seasoned perspective. This kind of moral grounding is increasingly rare in a world driven by fast information, impulsive opinions, and shifting values. Elders also serve as living examples of values like honesty, loyalty, humility, forgiveness, and perseverance. These aren't just concepts; they talk about their principles they've lived by. Their stories often involve moments where they chose integrity over gain, patience over anger, or compassion over judgment. These life choices create a moral legacy that others admire and strive to emulate. Just as a tree grows stronger with deeper roots, moral authority strengthens over time, and elders, having weathered decades of life, become the deeply rooted examples others can lean on. Additionally, elders tend to see beyond the black and white thinking that dominates younger minds. They understand that life is nuanced, that people are complex, and that moral clarity often comes from empathy and context rather than harsh judgment. Their guidance is usually less about telling others what to do, and more about helping them see the bigger picture, to consider long-term effects, emotional consequences, and ethical responsibilities. In many traditional cultures, elders are the ultimate moral guides, offering wisdom that governs not just families, but entire communities. Even in modern societies, people instinctively look to older individuals for timeless truths and emotional grounding. Reaching the age of 80 and continuing to live with purpose, passion, and clarity is one of the most inspiring aspects of age, a key reason why elders earn deep respect from others. In a society that often associates aging with decline, people over 80 who remain purposeful break that stereotype completely. They show the world that meaning doesn't disappear with age; in fact, it can deepen. Their lives become powerful reminders that purpose isn't bound by youth, career, or physical strength. It's found in contribution, connection, and the will to keep moving forward with intention. At 80 and beyond, Many elders reimagine what it means to live a meaningful life. They may no longer be working in traditional careers or raising children, but they find purpose in new ways, mentoring others, volunteering, caring for family, sharing their stories, or nurturing their communities. This quiet, steady sense of purpose serves as a model for younger people who